everybody. We are back with Junie B. Jones' Dumb Bunny. We're on chapter 8, so we only have 3 chapters to go. Chapter 8 is called Swooping. The children ran. They ran everywhere, I will tell you, and they ran to and fro and up and down and back and forth and here and there. Also, Roger ran sideways, and Lenny ran in a circle. I watched them very fascinated. Some of the children were tackling and scuffling. Sheldon went through a shrub. That's when Lucille's daddy blew his whistle again. Tweet, tweet, tweet. Everyone come back here right now, he shouted, real mad. Everyone came back. Sheldon had a stick in his ear. He sputtered and stuttered and pointed at May. She pushed me. May pushed me through a bush. May stamped her foot. No, I did not, Sheldon. I did not push you. You pushed yourself, she said. She turned and looked at the daddy. It was the darndest thing you ever saw, she said. He shoved himself right through that shrub. The daddy stood there a real long time. Then he walked to a picnic bench, and he sat down real slow, and he hit himself in the head. I went over and tapped on him. I would just like to point out that the bunny did not run, I said. The bunny was the only one who walked. May overheard me. That's because the bunny can't run or the bunny falls down, she called. The bunny should not get credit for that. The daddy hit himself in the head again. I walked back to Herbert. He looked kind of worried. The daddy is coming unglued, he said. I nodded. Yes, I said, the daddy is going to need backup, I believe. Backup is the grown-up word for the police might need to come, possibly. And guess what? Me and Herb were not the only ones thinking that either, because just then Lucille's Nana hollered out real loud. Enough, she hollered. I have had enough of this nonsense with you children. Then she cupped her hands around her mouth and she shouted out a brand new rule. It was called, if there's any more running or fighting, she is going to call the cops. All of the children did a loud gulp. I looked at Herbert. That new rule seems a little harsh, I said. Only guess what else? The new rule worked, I think, because pretty soon the Nana started the egg hunt again, and this time no one ran at all. No one even walked, hardly. Instead, we all behaved like little ladies and gentlemen, and we hunted for eggs very polite. May stuck to Sheldon like glue. I tried to stick to him too, but my giant feet could not keep up that good. May kept on grouching. You're not going to get the golden egg before I do, Sheldon. Even if you know where it is, I'll beat you to it, she said. I'm all over you like flies on egg salad. Sheldon rolled his eyes. But I don't know where the golden egg is, May, he said. I've already told you that. I don't know anything at all. I cupped my mitts around my mouth. I believe you, Sheldon. I believe you don't know anything at all, I shouted. I've never thought you've known anything at all. After that, I hurried to catch up to him, because I definitely thought he knew something, of course. Sheldon turned to wait for me. Then all of a sudden he glanced down at the ground and he did a loud gasp. I see one, I see one, I see one, he shouted. May and I turned to look. There was a bright green egg under the bushes. Sheldon clapped and laughed and he hurried over to pick it up, but whoosh, swoop, scoop. May ducked underneath him, speedy fast, and she got it instead. I got it, she screeched. Then she put the egg in her basket and danced all around. Sheldon's face got sputtery mad, but before he could even yell at her, he did another gasp. I see one, he shouted even louder than before. Then he clapped his hands and he laughed real happy and he hurried over to pick it up, but whoosh, swoop, scoop. What do you think's happening? Yep, May beat him to it again. Two, now I have 2, she hollered. She jumped in the air and kicked her feet. I swooped, I'm a swooper, I swoop, she said. She ran back to Sheldon and leaned in his face. I knew I would beat you at this game, she said. Now I have 2 eggs, and you and Junie B have. She leaned her head into our baskets. Let's count them. 0. Ha, you have 0, and I have 2. 2 to 0. 2 to zippity zip 0. Sheldon looked at me real upset. I've run my eyes at him. Helpful hint, I said. Stop shouting. I see one. Sheldon pointed at his magic egg shirt. But I just don't get it, Junie B, he said. My gramps said that the egg is with me. So why isn't this magic egg shirt working? I looked closer at the egg dribble. Maybe it's not lucky, I said. Maybe it's just dirty. Sheldon slumped his shoulders. Then he reached down his finger and he flicked off the egg. Only wait till you hear this. Just as he flicked it, his eyes got big and wide again. This time I hurried over to cover his mouth with my hand, but Sheldon shouted right through my palm it. I see one, I see one, I see one, he shouted. Then before he could even move his feet, whoosh, swoop, scoop, May grabbed egg number 3. She twirled in a happy circle around us. 3-0, 3-0, it's 3-0, she yelled. Sheldon stood very still, then very slow. He put down his basket and he stretched out the sides of his mouth with his fingers and he stuck his tongue out at May. That was appropriate behavior, I believe. After that, he snatched his basket up again and he tried to rush away from May, but too bad for Sheldon because May stayed right exactly on his heels. They were walking too fast for me to keep up. I stopped and watched them go. I did a big sigh. And I walked over to a tree stump and I sat down very glum. I hate being this dumb bunny, I said, because my feet are too big and my legs are too slow and my paw mitts are way too clumsy. I slumped my shoulders and looked in the empty basket. I did another sigh. Because let's face it, the bunny was a rotten egg. And that's all for chapter 8. Chapter 9 is called Lucky Bunny. Do you think something lucky is going to happen to Junie B? I sure hope so. I'll see you for chapter 9.